Once upon a time, a prince was born in the land of Barbary. My, what a feast that was. As in all stories like ours, all the fairies of the land had been invited by the king to bless the newborn child with a gift. All, that is, but one. For this tale wouldn't be a real fairy tale without the evil fairy the king had forgotten to invite. She came all the same, and cast a horrible spell on the tender babe. This little prince will wear a beard which can't be plucked, nor shaved, or sheared. However, King of Barbary, remember this word. Rotary! Oh dear. What could she mean by that? Well, whatever it meant, the result of this curse became evident all too soon. Desperately, the king shouted for the court barber, who proceeded forthwith to cut the magic beard. He cut once, he cut twice, he cut this way and that, for 7 days and 7 nights. Then he gave up. Poor little prince. How could he be freed of this ever-growing beard? All the shaving methods mankind ever invented were ordered by the harassed king, but all in vain. The patient Indian barber even tried to pull out the hairs one by one, which I think displeased His Majesty. He then remembered the last word of the curse, rotary. Once again, the court barber was summoned, and the king commanded him to immediately make a rotating shaving machine. The result? Disappointing and painful. Never before in history had a king so grievously been saddled with his son's beard. Beaten at last, the distressed king of Barbary found but a temporary solution. He informed his ministers thereof, who passed it on to their inferiors, who told the town criers. And the town criers made known to the inhabitants what the king and his ministers had decided.
Hark ye, in Barbary, our king proclaims this unto thee. Each man and boy must grow a beard, and punishment for those who have it sheared.
A beardy prince in a beardy Barbary would certainly not attract much attention. As for the barbers, many other jobs were waiting for them. And the artists? The new law heralded a golden age in which they could display their talents in the most subtle ways. Meanwhile, the royal babe grew into a little boy, a tiny tot with a long, long beard. Never having seen a clean-shaven face, he didn't realize how much he was to pity. And a sad, sad sight he was, for his long, drooping beard, to say the least, became him very little. However, the wonderful gifts of all the other fairies became more and more evident too, as he grew into a brave and kind-hearted young man. Now, one fine day, a princess from a neighboring country traveled through the land of Barbary. You should know that roads in these days were not too good. Or rather, no good at all. What a confusion. The princess and her father lost in a foreign country. But look, there's a city. A city with a castle, which could mean suitable accommodation for a king and his daughter. But how to get there? Why, of course. Soon it struck the royal travellers how bearded the land of Barbary was. Bearded in many different ways. The King of Barbary welcomed his unexpected guests as well befitting the royal visitors. And of course, the lovely princess was presented to our prince, who at once fell in love with her. The princess, however, giggled and exclaimed, "Oh, well, even you wear such a funny beard." The entire court froze at her words. Someone had dared to mention the prince's beard. For shame! A deep sorrow welled from the prince's heart and plunged him into misery. This time, in utmost despair, the King of Barbary called for a barber of all barbers, and he came at once from Seville. La 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 presto. La 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 la. Oh, che bel vivere, che bel piacere, che bel piacere per un barbiere di qualità, di qualità. Oh, bravo, piccolo, bravo, bravissimo, bravo. La 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 la. Fortunatissimo per verità, bravo. La 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 la. Oh, fortunatissimo per verità. Fortunatissimo per verità. La 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 la. Was it this celebrated Spaniard, or was it true love that overcame the magic power of the wicked fairy? Whatever it was, the prince showed for the first time in his life the beauty of his noble features, and immediately the princess surrendered to his arms. Only to discover that the curse had lost nothing of its power, and that it was but another token of the fairy's evil to trouble the hearts of our young lovers. The two kings sighed a despairing sigh. Oh, isn't there anything in the world which could help them? If only I knew. Then again he remembered the magic words spoken by the fairy. Rotary? You mean rotary action? Why, in my country, rotary action in shaving is a household word. Yes, indeed, rotary action. For the first time in the land of Barbary, the Philishave appeared. The one and only shaver in the world with rotary action to defeat any beard, even the prince's. Once again, there was a great feast in the land of Barbary. The cruel tyranny of the beard had come to an end forever. And the prince and the princess lived happily ever after. When the prince finally succeeded his father to the throne, he changed the royal coat of arms into this emblem, to show the world that he owed his happiness not only to the young queen, but also to the rotary action of Philips Philishave.